Previously on our Zero to Hero journey. I regret so many things that led me to this place. Losing my sight, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. Nothing is fine. Good lord, we have been blessed today. Oh, just like you mother... Hey guys, it's Kusi. Thank you so much for the support in the last episode. You absolutely crushed it. For this episode, we have a few things to finish. First, we need to end this week with our final dungeon, then receive the payoff for our hard work in form of the vault. And after that, because it's time walking week, we quickly rushed a few time walks in order to receive an extra free normal raid item. Also, yet another molding experience with yet another DPS. I wanna be the very best. No one ever was. To heal them is my real test. To hate them is my cause. Neither a hunter or demon hunter. Pause the video now and tell me in the comments which class you think. No cheating. But as usual, let's start from the beginning. As you saw earlier, our final dungeon before the reset is Underrot 8. With 2 less demon hunters but 2 more hunters, I was actually curious if this gets better or not. And to this day I'm not sure. The first poll started with someone adding the ticks to the left and then also the ticks to the right. Usually you don't poll any of those. So in response, I used every cooldown in my book and tried to save as much as I could. Not a chill opening to this dungeon, and yet again, no bloodlust used sadly. At this point, I'm wondering if I should just buy drums and use them whenever I feel like it. Though the first boss went a lot cleaner than last episode, and I don't know what happened here, but my spidey senses just allowed me to juke this breath, like it's a daily business for me. Considering these trash packs are by far the worst in the dungeon, managing to get through them with only 1 more death was a miracle in my eyes. And even though the single target damage wasn't overwhelming, we killed Kragma first attempt. Barely though, because everyone just tunneled the boss at the very last set of maggots. On Sancha, we have a little foreshadowing on what will come again this episode. One of our hunters just refused to play the mechanics of upheaval and just stood somewhere outside of the arena. I really, and I mean really appreciate Revival, since it cleanses all divas from the party. We had 10 stacks from not playing the shrooms, so we would have died there otherwise for sure. Fortunately, we managed to kill the boss before he could do it again, so we move. Somehow we managed to add 2 different worms on the final pack of the dungeon. One wasn't even inside. Luckily, they don't bug out anymore and just stop attacking once you fall down to the final boss. Even though I could blame myself for not being clear about this to the party, but stacking on this boss is everything. Some might even call it mandatory. Because not only are you in range of the healer, you also don't make things more complicated with the expulsion placement or the healing circle. Yet both hunters insisted on just standing somewhere. Just look at where the healing circle is spawning. You try to tell me that moving this much is not a DPS loss? Alright, and he doesn't even make it. Meanwhile we still got our debuffs rolling. Hashtag healer issue, am I right? With everyone but the tank dead, we somehow managed to steal 2 chestes. After my second triggering experience on Underrot, I called it a day and left the vault with only 2 slots for Mythic Plus. When I logged on the reset day, I quickly accepted the time walking weekly quest. After that, straight up to our first vault of the series. And even though we've seen better in earlier journeys, this one provided me with yet another T-set, which means we are on 3. I quickly checked the time and saw that the time rift is currently up. Remember, once a week you get a dilated time capsule, which rewards you with yet another item, which you then could make into tier set as well. So we quickly did that and then finally crafted ourselves the 4 set. Not even a week of playing and we rock 4 set already, man. Catch-up mechanics go wild these days. In short, our 2 set effects pretty much just give us some extra mana as a passive, and some extra healing on our main hot and quick heal ability. Just short, sweet and fantastic. Right after that I quickly queued up for time walking runs, which were hella boring. You can't just pull half the dungeon without even tanking damage. It's seriously hilarious. After finally getting done with the 5th dungeon, I hoped for something massive. Not because I felt like I deserve it, but why not? And as per usual, I got nothing of use. Or at least not for now. A 100 weapon can come in handy if I get an offhand from the vault in the future. So considering what amount of loot we got last episode, I absolutely won't complain at all. And because it was already 2 AM, I tried to apply to as many keys as I could. Sadly only a 6 freehold accepted me. And considering it's tyrannical and the +6 doesn't even provide any affix anyways, I won't even mention this one. Matter of fact, the recording of this dungeon was barely 30 minutes long, so you can guess how that went. On the next day we applied 2 more keys again, which led to yet another Underrot 8. Haven't I suffered enough already? But hey, No hunters or demon hunters this time, easy key. Well, sort of. Everything went very clean. Even killing Crackmore without loss, considering it's tyrannical, went surprisingly smooth. But then for some reason, things got crazy. In the earlier mentioned foreshadowing, this was what I meant. On the very first upheaval, our Mark Paladin just refuses to play it and just bunny hopped instead. And even though our Feral only took down 4 shrooms with his mark, at least he did it right. Or so I thought. Because last second he just moved away from the shrooms, missing half of the mentioned 4. Another attempt from me trying to remind the party of the mechanics. And guess what happens? The mage does it right. The Paladin just speeds off and managed to kill 1 whole shroom. Maybe you think I'm an asshole for just telling him to play the strats, but here's the issue I have. He has 3 chested this run on a similar key level. So he has at least seen this before, and he just got marked on every damn upheaval. Here's what he does on the 3rd. No shrooms hit. Granted, on the 4th upheaval he wasn't targeted, but the Feral instead did his duty, killing only 1 shroom again. And here's where my question to you comes in. We have seen 4 upheaval casts now, and even though you are maybe not 100% sure on how this works, you have seen the mage kill 6 or 7 shrooms at least twice with 1 marking. Why can't you figure out how it works? Needless to say, we wipe on the 2nd Festering Harvest, because I had no revival like on the 1st cast. And after that wipe, stuff even got worse. I didn't even see what happened, but somehow we managed to pull so much shit extra. In fact, so much shit that we went from 5 to 12 deaths before even starting the boss a 2nd time. Let's see what happens next. I was absolutely losing my shit here. Even after explaining to him what to do on the way to the boss, he just refuses to play. He only took down 1 shroom and 1 more by running through them. I was so mad that I used revival after I typed, since I just stood in so much shit there. Meaning if we don't play it good now, we will wipe again on the 1st Festering Harvest. The only thing that could save us now would be a bubble plus horse from the Paladin. The mage called for 1 more attempt, and mid-pull, he made the very douchey yet very important call to still keep hope alive. Again, let's spectate the first upheaval. The Paladin legit managed to run through multiple shrooms and then died even before the upheaval could take off and get rid of more shrooms. I was absolutely speechless. After that, the mage kicked him from the party, preventing a potential combat res. Disregarding on if he's a new player or not, no way you can be this unaware when you play the game. You had multiple attempts to see what to do, and you even got it explained to you. For every DPS player out there, no one expects you to be perfect or always play everything to an absolute maximum. But try not to be shit. If the boss has only 1 mechanic, play it. I think a general tip for life that I've been given a while ago could apply here. You don't have to make it easy for everyone, just don't make it harder for them. So applying that to the in-game world, please consider reading into bosses before you potentially join someone else's key and be the reason you deplete it. Because I had revival up, I knew we still survived the first Festering Harvest, meaning we now have to play out the next upheavals. And we did, mostly. Arriving on the last boss, we somehow had 4 minutes to still time this key, which is absolutely doable. And even though this was a horrendous pull considering the way we played it, we did time it eventually. An upgrade in form of Biz Hands for your boy, but I'm not sure if this was worth losing at least 3 years of my life molding. I really tried to be more positive with this, but I get it now. I get why healers get so frustrated so quickly. Holy shit. Thinking to myself, this can't be it, I did apply to do more keys. This time it was Neldaros 10. And since this run went very, and I mean very clean, I just quickly mentioned the 2 new affixes for this week to come. The first one is Volcanic, which lets little volcanoes spawn beneath the feet of mostly ranged players. If you get hit by that, you take some damage and you also get knocked up into the air. The second is Sanguine. Every time a mob dies, a pool of blood will spawn. Players that stand in the pool will take some serious damage, while other trash mobs in it will get healed for 5% per tick. The only death that happened on this run was the hunter getting one-shot by the 3rd boss, and with that, we 2-chested this run as well. And I think we only used about 2 chains this run. While it's an item level upgrade, this ring isn't even worth taking at the moment. I'm pretty sure I'm on way too much mastery already at the moment, so I just keep it for now. The last dungeon for this episode is Eldarian Slayer 11. Yet again, this went super clean. The only messy part about this was the final boss, where our mage legit hided the golem everywhere, but not at the shard. For some reason, no one died, even though we misplayed it horribly. Our only death came from our lovely Snowflake. It was avoidable, so I won't take the blame for that one. Finishing this with over 90 seconds to 3-chested, we took down the final mob and claimed our loot. And with that, we end our 3rd week of 0 to Insanity. With an item level of 410 and nearly 1k dungeon score, we will need some more gear upgrades to get our score up even higher. I really want to continue doing only +11s for the crests, in order to actually upgrade good gear quickly. If you're still here watching, why don't you show me by typing Underrot is the best in the comments, so I can see who's part of the full-length gang. But with that, I wish you the most fantastic day whenever you see this, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.